guys, it's Kevin again, and in this video I'm going to be reviewing to a show that I tried out this week that I thought I should try out, because now that I'm not reviewing New Girl to you anymore, because I'm not really reviewing comedies to you, I decided I need something to watch at 9 o'clock, so I decided to pick Supernatural, because this is a show I've heard is really good, so I tried it out this week, and I absolutely love this show. I definitely am going to continue to watch, because I really love this show, and I thought this episode was really funny. It's not usually funny, but this episode was really, really funny. This is giving my review for episode 5 of Supernatural Season 9, episode 5, Dog Dean Afternoon. So the episode starts off with there's this taxidermist in Oklahoma. He's constricted to death by a man taking on the traits of a snake, and basically his dog is barking, and that's how he dies. So reading about this, Sam and Dean decide to investigate, but reach a dead end with the only clue which points to a couple of animal lovers who defected the taxidermist's storefront but had their eyes injured by the killer with snake venom. That night, the killer goes to the animal shelter and steals all the cats, eating one. Taking on cat-like traits, he develops claws and kills the shelter worker investigating. But, so yeah, that's basically what happens here. But then what happens is that Sam and Dean find the taxidermist's dog, the Colonel, at the shelter and realize he witnessed both murders. Needing information on what could be doing this, Dean casts this spell that allows him to communicate with animals, but it also causes him to take on animal-like traits. This was hilarious, definitely. I thought this just was very, very funny. Also, the reason I wanted to start watching this show is because it got nominated for a bunch of People's Choice Awards, and I want to see what the whole thing, why it got nominated, and I can definitely see why. But the Colonel is able to give a bit of description of the killer, but can't supply much information. So the three return to the shelter to look for other witnesses. In exchange for a belly rub, a dog tells them about the killer eating a cat and how he had a sack with the name of the restaurant on it. This was just really, really funny because, like, Dean had all these different type of animal-like traits. I just thought that was really, really funny. And, so yeah, after Dean releases the dogs, he and Sam check out the restaurant, learn from papers and a couple of mice in the office that the man, Chef Leo is using animal parts to take on the traits of, various animals, for some reason using, shamanism. Chef Leo returns and mortally wounds Sam, but after Ezekiel heals him, Chief Leo, knocks him out to eat Sam to get the healing ability, believing Sam is somehow regenerating on its own. Chef Leo catches Dean, who, through his dog senses, realizes that he has cancer, and Chef Leo explains that he has terminal cancer and is taking on the traits of various animals to try to find a cure, and it works temporarily, but the effort always wears off, so he's now experimenting with combining various animal traits, and Chef Leo takes on the trait of a wolf to kill Dean, but he breaks free and summons the dogs from the shelter, who maul Chef Leo to death, and it's too dangerous for a dog to be on the road with them. Dean takes the Colonel to the animal lovers they had suspected, and they adopt him. And they have one final confrontation. The Colonel tells Dean that dogs are actually man's best friend, but the spell wears off that he can explain what dogs really are supposed to be. I thought that was really funny. He's like, the real reason we're here is because, and then the spell wore off, and he's like, really? The spell wears off now? That was really funny, definitely. And Dean returns normal and reassures Sam that the experience leaving him shaken as what Chef Leo was able to possess him eventually took over him completely, and Dean worries about the same thing happening with Sam and Ezekiel. So that was basically the episode, and some of the things I definitely want to talk about is definitely some of the really funny scenes in this episode. I was just reading you what happened in the episode, but some of the things I really liked in this episode was definitely the scenes where, like, all the scenes where Sam could hear the animals. I thought that was, Dean could hear all the animals. I thought that was definitely a very interesting concept, and it definitely was really, really funny the way that all worked out. Also, in the beginning of this episode, they had a montage of all the really funny episodes of Supernatural, and that was definitely really funny. But one of the things I absolutely love about the show is just the different things that they can do with the show is endless. It's not really just one thing. Like, this season, I've looked at the episodes, and they've done some pretty crazy shit. Last week's I know was Oz, because I saw that for a promo for the originals. But I will definitely continue to keep watching this show. I really love it. I think it's really... This episode was definitely really funny, because what we got to see was we got to see how animals think, how animals talk, what they're thinking all the time, you know, things like that. That was definitely really great. And also, performances in this show are really great. You know, Sam and Dean are fantastic in this show. And I think they're just really, really great characters, in my opinion. I think one of the things that people love about them so much is that they hunt monsters, and most people run away from monsters, but they hunt monsters. And I think the other thing that, you know, like I said, is that there's so many different types of creatures they could do on the show. And I've heard that this show is not really the world we live in, it's a separate world, which is kind of cool. And, you know what, I'm actually a pretty big fan of the Dr. Dolittle movies, so this episode definitely, I mean, I don't really like the other, like, Dr. Dolittle 3, 4, I don't like those, but I like the first two with Eddie Murphy, and this one definitely, especially the first one, this one definitely reminded me of those movies, and I always love movies where animals could talk. I think that's really funny, and it was definitely a very interesting concept, and they did quite a lot with it, so yeah. Definitely this show, I definitely will keep on watching it. It looks like next week they're going to start having this recurring storyline with the character Cat Seal, who we didn't see in this episode, but it looks like he's going to be working at this gas station or whatever, so that should be pretty cool. And there's really not much else to say about this episode except that it was really funny. There were some really funny scenes with the dogs and everyone talking. I thought everything that the dog said was really funny. Like, there was this scene where they're like, oh, we're so glad to have you. They're like, oh, just shut up and give me a treat. I thought that was really funny. And the way the spell wore off was also really funny. And I just can't wait to see where else this show goes because I already absolutely love it. I'm hooked on this show and I just can't wait to see more of it. So, yeah, I really love the show and I can't wait to see where else it goes. That's it for my review of Supernatural Season 9, Episode 5. I'm sure a lot of you are very happy I'm reviewing this show. I know a lot of you love it. What did you guys think of this episode? Did you think it was funny? Did you think it was not funny? I think a lot of people thought it was a funny episode compared to last week's. I know a lot of people did not like last week's episode. But I really enjoyed this one. That's it for my review. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.